This is a summary on the Q1 2021 earnings call of Lordstown Motors. I go over the call, the slide deck, and some funding options. Let's get started with the presentation. Okay, these are my notes on the LMC Ride Q1 earnings call. I'm just going to go through this real quick. You can listen to the call if you like. Anyway, CEO Burns, first up, he said first to market is the most important thing, most important development. They passed the crash testing, the real crash testing. They're looking at a 5-star rating. Uh, OPEX and CapEx was 100 million over estimates. They need to raise capital. Uh, they got increased uptime for fleet. There's a lot of advantages for the uh, Lordstown. It's an increased uptime for fleet customers because it's simpler truck, better drivetrain. The range is solid and validated, not like the Ford. They got 1 million miles of bench testing and 500K road. Okay, they are production ready for scale production of EVs. Okay, they're going to have the largest hub motor manufacturing facility in the world. Okay, and they got the open house June 21st, and the EV van is going to be a prototype this summer. That's really coming ahead. That's another thing they spend a lot of money on, but they're moving right ahead. So they're going to have two models. Rick Schmidt, head of production for Tesla, no production hell. Tesla wanted to automate everything. Rich Schmidt knows what he's doing. The beta builds, safety. The plant is set up to build both cars and trucks, EVs, simultaneously. So they got a truck, they got a van, they're going to make an SUV. PPV, pre-production vehicle testing, late this summer is the final step, final crash testing. And, everything's ready. Paint shop, stamping, assembly. The hub motor production line is going to be ready in July. The battery plant. Anyway, basically where it said they're ready to go, like a coiled snake. Julio Rodriguez, CFO. Main thing he said was I misspelled this. The SEC made SPACs reclassified their warrants as liabilities. They were using them as assets. Uh, they didn't have many at Lordstown anyway, but other specs have many, many more. So they restated those. You can read these numbers: 587 million cash. The cash burn was 125 million last month. They got 180 million shares out if they use the warrant, so you can calculate the market cap from that. Uh, Anyway, their expenses were like twice what they thought they were going to be this month than the last month. On the short sellers, the board of directors has a committee. The SEC is investigating. They have no comments. Obviously, anything related to production is going to be moot. The only thing is going to be the sales thing. And I think we all have Jim Cramer to thank for that. And I just want to say something here. I looked at some stats a long time ago about Jim Cramer. Like 2% of the firms he says are going to go up, go up. 99% of the firms he says go down are going to go down, go down. He's a former hedge fund guy. He got a lot of friends in the hedge fund business. And we all know who does all the shorting. It's the hedge funds. And we know that I was looking at trading records today or the other day, and all these trades are simultaneously taking place over multiple different stocks. This is all hedge fund activity. That's all I'm going to say. SEC should do some more investigating. Guidance: costs were higher than expected. Got to raise funds to meet the last business plan. They need, like, let's say max 275 mil. They got a loss of 380 million. If they don't raise capital, they're going to finish with 50 to 75 million cash. Uh, if they don't raise capital, their production is going to go down from 1,000 units this year to 500. They're seeking the alternative technology vehicle manufacturing loan. I don't think we could count on that. So it happened with Workhorse in the post office, which they absolutely should have got a portion of. Ton of insider buying and selling. Why isn't the SEC investigating that? They're looking at asset-based lending, tax credit. I think they're going to go with strategic investors. Now they had questions. These are just some notes on the questions. Why did they have cost overruns? They brought all the critical components in-house. The last one was the frame. The supply chain, they had to alter their supply chain because of the COVID, and they had to set up production for the van. They have the batteries and chips and frames and everything lined up. They have all the key components to build the next year of production. And the crash testing is going great. Moving quickly. What has this been? 10 months? 10 months. So the PPV finishes testing at the end of summer. So that's like airbags and stuff, I believe. They're right at production. They prefer to do a capital raise that isn't going to dilute fundraisers. They want to use the raised capital for the next CapEx round of expenditures, which is inventory, basically, and some die work to build out the van. But they have to buy inventory to, it's 3,000 parts, 2,000 are bought, and they got to buy inventory for all those parts to put them together, and that's what they need. The plant and equipment are all in place. Van's looking like a winner. Steve Burns knows all about building vans. It's going to be great. Buy versus make. They're following the Tesla model in-house. I don't have to go over that. Pen up the van. They're on par with Ford. Amazingly, Ford been in business 100 years. They've been working on their truck for 2 years. Lordstown's been working on theirs for 10 months. They got a vehicle on par with Ford in cost and capabilities, and they're getting to market faster. So they got market demand. They just need to meet it. They needed the capital to ramp up. Even if they don't, they still can get trucks out the door, as I said, 50%. They're debt-free. They got room to put on debt. Okay. And they need production inventory, working capital for production inventory. As I said, this government loan, I'm not excited about it. You can't guarantee it, honestly. Like I said, Workhorse, they should have got a government contract, at least a portion of that. But, you don't know on these things. You just don't know. And I think they really deserve it. And they fit right in the lines of every goal the government has. But you cannot count on this. Believe me. Do not hang your hat on that. Okay, Wolf Research, the guys that gave him $1 price rating. They just went through a make versus buy thing with them, and they were talking about the bomb of the thing of materials, the basic list of materials, whatever it is called, build out materials, whatever, BOM, you can look it up. Anyway, that's their basic cost on the truck is $37K. Okay, and they expect it to be lower. That's what Wolf was saying. Well, what's your bomb? What's your bomb? Basic of materials. I forget. It's escaped me. You can look that up. It's an accounting term. And Steve Burns says he's going to get it down. But anyway, that's what their cost is right now. So they're looking at 10, 15 grand a truck. revenue, maybe. They got a lot of room to play with price, maybe. Whatever. Um, the volume is needed to create free cash flow. They can't do any estimates until the COVID subsides, they said. Pre-orders were 100K. Right now they got 30K. And these are with money down with like a balloon payment 90 days from building. So they got 30K. Ford said they got 44K. That's before they announced the fleet model. So that's all the LXT models. I think Burns is going to go to market more quickly with the consumer model than anybody thinks. They asked them, are they going to have a strategic partnership or a sale? They have a strategic partnerships pursuing them, they said. The Army has noticed. They have no intention of being anything other than an OEM. They're not going to wear out their manufacturing capability. They're not going to make hub motors for other people. They're going to be an original equipment manufacturer, and they're not going to sell the firm. If they get the capital they need, their other business plan is totally in effect. And again, the volume targets they asked for 2022, the timing of the financing is going to make a difference, and the COVID stuff too. All right, they asked them about the CapEx for 2022 and 2023. Same as 2021, overestimates. They're setting up the big stuff. Hard tool setup will be the main cost. So this is for the van. Strategic is getting a heavy look. They want someone that can bring more than money, and I got an idea who that's going to be. Full-size work truck, only two, LMC and Ford isn't out there, okay? And he said that Ford validated their price and product. So this is talking about the consumer model, the LXT. So they put some carpeting in the Endurance, and it's the consumer model, and their head-to-head competition with price. And that's makes sense for Ford. That's going to be their bread and butter. That's what they're going to sell. The fleet vehicle is a loss leader. I mean, you look at the bill of materials for the Endurance is 39K. They're selling theirs at 39K. They have a different drivetrain with more parts and more expense. Their bill of materials is higher. They're not even selling it at break even. They're losing money on it. So, how can they get this financing? They can get the convertible bonds. I have a thing on this. Chalmette did it with Tesla. They can get an stock interest in the company for capital, like Mercedes did with Tesla. I have a short video on this. They can borrow against assets. I think they're going to pursue a strategic relationship and have a partner come in, or a silent partner come in for a percentage of the business, whatever. I think one of them is going to be Camping World. There's a lot of synergy there. They're in all 50 states, RV buyers or truck buyers. And Camping World is on a buying spree. Of course, the other one could be GM. This loan, again, I'm not high on that. And they could do a little of each. They could do all kind of stuff. They got room to take on debt and bonds. There's all kind of stuff going on there. Now, I'd like to. So I don't think they're going to have any problem getting funding. And even if they don't, they're still going into production. I think they will be able to get funding. And especially after this June 21st, when they blow this Hindenburg crap out of the water. Now, after production starts, now this is like 30K units secured. Okay, the revenue flywheel starts in the unit sale flywheels. These fleets are going to buy one to evaluate it, and if they like it, they're going to buy more. So that's what I'm talking about. So this is going to rev up. They're going to have additional revenue from the carbon credit sales. For each one of the trucks they sell, they're going to get a carbon credit that they can sell to Ford. Ha! So that's a double whammy of income there. This is what Tesla's running the whole company on right now. Bill of materials, they have enough stock up for 1 year of production on hand, all the key parts. So inflation is not an issue. The margin's insured. I think that I think once they get the production, the stock is going to go up, even if it's diluted. Anyway, let's just talk about the Ford Lightning XLT, which is the consumer model, and the Pro, which is the fleet model. Burns only mentioned the XLT, didn't mention it by name, but it's price equivalency, and implies a quick consumer model. I think they're going to take this fleet truck to consumer much quicker. The Pro Fleet model, again, is $12K cheaper than the Endurance. They're selling it at below cost. I'm sure of it. And they got 44K pre-orders. All right, they got a limited production capacity. They got a limited battery supply. They got a limited chip supply. Do you think they're going to devote all these resources to trucks they're selling below cost? And they're going to keep them away for their highest income revenue generating product line? I don't think so. I think it's going to be a while before the fleet truck comes out. Their design, their rear suspension is not a solid axle. I don't care what anybody says. It's not going to work right. They have a much heavier truck. They have a much, this has to do with wear and tear and tires and, hey, how about the bushings on the rear suspension? They're independent suspension. Drivetrain is more complex and they got a lower range. So, I think it's an inferior product to the Endurance. And again, the XLT is the profitable one. The Pro is lost leader. Now, here's the rub too. They're going to have to apply their carbon credits to their own production. They're going to have no revenue from it. Ooh, ouch. And the ice truck is their largest margin generator. So, I don't know. How are they going to do this? They could just go all in, damn the torpedoes, and do a full conversion overnight. I don't think so. I don't think they could do that if they wanted to, but the CEO of Ford says he's going to let the public decide who wants what. And they've got the choice of a hybrid. I think a lot of people are going to choose the hybrid over the electric. I don't think they're going to trust the electric. I don't know. It's a Ford pickup. There's people that'll buy a Ford no matter what the details are. So anyway, that was the conference call. I got some other clips here. I'm going to go over the slide deck of the conference call as well. All right, let's move on to the next section here. All right, and this is again, based on the Tesla model, a strategic partnership that Tesla had with Mercedes. And this is funny because I'll get to the punchline. Notice the date, April 20th, 2010. And this, they say a lot of things saved Tesla. This is really what saved Tesla. This is what they needed when they got it. I forget the dollar amount that was involved here, but I don't know, 500 million. I should look that up. You can look it up yourself. But it came at the critical point in Tesla. I think this is before they went public. I'm not sure, but this absolutely, if this had not have happened, Tesla would not be in existence. And Tesla was in basically the same situation as Lordstown with the Model S, and the white knight that came in was Daimler Benz. Anyway, blah blah blah. They got a 10% stake, 10% stake of Tesla. Two companies have already been working closely together, much like GM with Lordstown and Camping World with Lordstown. They could pursue strategic partnerships with both of those companies. Investment enables the partners to collaborate even more closely. And again, strategic partnership, which is what Burns is talking about. Now, of course, I don't know, whatever. The point is, this is yet another avenue that's open to Lordstown, which is quite doable, I think. Now, here's the rub on this. This was April 20, 2010. I think they got the stock. I forget. I think the price of the stock that they bought, they were awarded in this exchange was in the 20s or something, maybe the 30s. Anyway, like a year later, they thought Tesla was going to go bankrupt. They sold it all. So they sold 10% of Tesla Motors, okay, at $20 a share. Oops. Okay. Okay, this is a clip about some bond fundraising. That's an idea for Lordstown. That Tesla. I think we got to base this all on the Tesla model because this is exactly what Tesla did. Let me just play this clip real quick here.
Massively long the convertible bonds. Why the convertible bonds? Again, it's the safest and the surest way to basically bet on Elon Musk, who I just fundamentally think is the most important entrepreneur of our generation.
But you don't like the equity. You don't like the stock.
The equity represents tremendous volatility. I mean, if you put it on the screen, you can see it right there. And for our risk management, for the way that I want my capital and my partner's capital run, what I want is a mechanism to get 95% of the upside, 0 of the downside. And literally the bonds give you that. And so, there's no need for me to sort of step out there, try to be a risk cowboy to prove something that we don't have to prove, because Elon has said to the entire world, hey, listen, you can buy the naked equity, right, or take this other thing, which gives you 95% of it and no downside.
What's the coupon?
When we bought it, it was yielding 5%.
What's it now?
Now it's close to 0.
Well, what's the premium over conversion?
No, we bought it at like 87 cents.
Would you still buy it at close to 0?
Okay, so anyway, just a short clip to show you excuse me. This is convertible bonds. This is a debt instrument based on, well, it's what Tesla used. It was very successful. Okay, just going to do a quick overview of Camping World Class A common stock. It's at 40 today. I was actually going to buy this stock at 37. Anyway, here's the chart. I want to get, here's the year-to-date chart. Even, let's see if we can do 1 year. Anyway, this stock was down to $4 at one time. Let's see if it's on. Yeah, there we go. 471. Now it's at 40. Anyway, that was in 2020. That was at the height of the COVID scare. Here's the key data. Capital goods. 1 year target 50. High low 39.40. 500,000 shares. Average volume 2 million. PE is 8.49. Forward PA is 10.53. EPS is 4.72. Dividend. This is interesting. This is the Peter Lynch strategy report. You just go down here. They're calling Camping World a Peter Lynch pick. Leader of vehicles, RVs, and related products, and so forth. Here's another one. This is a full factor report for Camping World. This is interesting. It's got the closed market cap is, I think that's 3 billion, 3.5 billion. Standard PE, blah, 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 price to book, price to sales. Look at that. Price to cash flow. Anyway, yield is 2.5. Shareholder, okay. Anyway, return on equity, 894%, 895. Okay. Return on assets, tangible capital, 33. You know, these guys are hitting it out of the park. In general, the thing about Camping World is it is on a buying spree here. There's the chart. I mean, what is this? 1 year? I'm not even sure. Anyway, pretty good looking chart. Camping World's an 800-pound gorilla in the camping sector. They have, you know, it's hard to even go over everything that they're doing right now. Very dynamic CEO. It's a turnaround story. They're already in a working partnership with Lordstown Motors. Lordstown Motors is going to produce a van they're going to base an electric RV on, which they are going to sell. Interestingly, Lordstown Motors is also going to supply and or build, I'm not sure if they're going to fabricate it, I don't know, but these fifth wheel trailers, camping trailers, you know, that people tow with pickup trucks, and other things, you know, just like an Airstream sort of thing. You know, they have propane tanks on them now. So Camping World CEO wants to build one that has a Lordstown Motors battery pack and, you know, power control unit on it, which is super breakthrough. I mean, there's charging all over these RV camps. And I don't want to, this isn't about Camping World, although I am bullish on Camping World, although it may have had its run. But the point is, they're going to have a presence in all 50 states. They have sales outlets in all 50 states. They have campgrounds in all 50 states. The campgrounds have charging in all 50 states. They have road service in all 50 states. You know, blah, blah, blah. As per the clip on the racing that may or may not have been shown already, truck buyers are RV buyers, okay? So, I personally think that they ought to do the Mercedes thing and go in for a percentage or whatever, however they would work out the deal. But anyway, I think this is a distinct possibility for Lordstown, and just an example of how they could secure funding for their inventory for production. Hi, this is MXUX. This is just closing out this presentation. I hope you guys liked it. I think there's a lot of interesting options open to Lordstown. I think they're right at the cusp of getting started. I think they're following the Tesla template. But I actually think the endurance is to the Cybertruck as the Model S was to the ICE car. I think it's that big of a quantum leap. I think if Elon Musk had the rights to the hub motors, or if they were at the development stage they are now, when he was making the Model S and Model X, he would have used them. Okay, this is MXUX. I hope you liked it. Stay tuned for other videos. Thanks a lot, guys.